Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here. Today I have for you my Witchcrafter deck profile. And I honestly am really excited for this deck. The cards look really cool. Yeah, let's just get into this. Okay, so we have 2 Witchcrafter, Madame Veer. During damage calculation, if your spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can reveal any number of spells with different names in your hands, and if you do, your battling monster gains 1,000 attack and defense for each card revealed. Until the end of this turn, quick effect, you can discard one spell, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. Until the end of this turn, you can only use each effect of Witchcrafter Madame Veer once per turn. You've got 2 Witchcrafter Hain. Your opponent cannot target other spellcaster type monsters you control with card effects. Quick effect. You can discard one spell card and target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use this effect of Witchcrafter Hain once per turn. Also, if you put 2 of them on the field, you'll make a lock so that your opponent cannot target any spellcaster monsters you control with card effects. We got 3 Witchcrafter Adele. Quick effect, you can discard one spell, special summon one Witchcrafter monster from your hand, except Witchcrafter Adele. You contribute this card, then target one spellcaster type monster in your graveyard, except Witchcrafter Adele, special summon it. You can only use each effect of Witchcrafter Adele once per turn. We got 3 Witchcrafter Schmieda. Anyway, during your main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card, then discard one spell, and special summon one Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except Witchcrafter Schmieda. You can banish this card from your graveyard, except Witchcrafter Schmieda. Send one Witchcrafter card from your deck to the graveyard, except Witchcrafter Schmieda. You can only use each effect of Witchcrafter Schmieda once per turn. Now you got 3 of your Witchcrafter Pittore. During your main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card, then discard one spell and special summon a Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except Witchcrafter Pittore. You can banish this card from your graveyard, draw one card, then send one Witchcrafter card from your hand to the graveyard, or if you have none, banish your entire hand. You can only use each effect of Witchcrafter Pittore once per turn. Lastly, for the monsters, we got 3 Witchcrafter Pittore, or Pottery. During your main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card, then discard one spell card, special summon one Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except Witchcrafter Pottery, if you have no cards in your hand, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Witchcrafter monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Witchcrafter Pottery once per turn. I'm sorry if I messed up the names. I like how they look. Alright, for the spells, we got 3 Secret Village of the Spellcasters. If only you control a spellcaster monster, your opponent cannot activate spell cards. If you control no spellcaster monsters, you cannot activate spell cards. Got 1 Witchcrafter Creation because I pulled it, so that was great. Add one Witchcrafter monster from your deck to your hand during your end phase. If you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, add this card to your hand. You can only use one Witchcrafter Creation effect per turn, and only once that turn. You got 3 Witchcrafter by Street. The first time each Witchcrafter monster you control would be destroyed each turn by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. You can only use one of the following effects of Witchcrafter by Street once per turn, and only once that turn. If a Witchcrafter monster you control would discard to activate an effect, you can send this card from your field to the graveyard instead. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card face up on your field in your spell and trap zone. You got 3 Witchcrafter Scroll. Once per turn during your spell, when your spellcaster monster destroys a monster by battle, you can draw 1 card. You can only use one of the following effects of Witchcrafter Scroll per turn, and once that turn. If a Witchcrafter monster you control would discard to activate an effect, you can send this card from your field to the graveyard instead. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster, while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card face up in your spell and trap zone. Now we got 2 Witchcrafter Draping. Target spell and traps your opponent controls up to the number of Witchcrafter monsters you control. Return those targets to the hand. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use 1 Witchcrafter Draping effect per turn, and only once that turn. We got 2 Witchcrafter Holiday. Target 1 Witchcrafter monster in your graveyard, special summon it. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use 1 Witchcrafter Holiday per turn, effect per turn, and only once that turn. Now you got 2 Witchcrafter Collaboration. Target 1 Witchcrafter monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Also, if it attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use 1 Witchcrafter Collaboration effect per turn, and only once that turn. Now we got 3 Wonder Wand. Equip only to a spellcaster monster. It gains 500 attack. If you control the equipped monster and this card, you can send both to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So the cool thing about this card is you can either use it as an equip and gain 500 attack, or you can just use it as draw power. And I have used it several times playtesting, and it works really well because you can send your monster to the grave with it, draw 2 cards, and then special summon another monster. It's pretty good. I like it. You got 2 Magician's Right Hand. Negate the effects of your opponent's first spell or effect that resolves each turn while you control a spellcaster monster. And if you do, or if it did not have an effect, destroy that card. Got 2 Transmodify. Send 1 face-up monster you control to the graveyard. Special summon from your deck 1 monster with the same type and attribute as that monster in the graveyard, but 1 level higher. You can only activate 1 Transmodify per turn. Lastly, we have 1 Spell Absorption. Each time a spell is activated, gain 500 life points immediately after it resolves. Alright guys, that's the entire deck profile. So please tell me what you think. What did you like? What did you dislike? What would you do to improve it? Please comment below. I like when you guys comment. And remember, I have 100+ budget-friendly deck profiles, so there's going to be a lot of fun content coming your way. So yeah, please make sure to like and subscribe, and most importantly, have fun.